long dead, who back in the 1840s, which was quite a decade actually, the 1840s. I'll talk more about the 1840s. It's my favorite decade ever since I started paying attention. Every monarchy in Europe was overthrown by popular peasant rebellions in the 1840s, which swept way before the internet or phones or any of that, even telegrams. I think it swept the rebellions, swept across borders, across languages, and then all the monarchies came back to power, but in a different environment where the peasants could no longer be treated as peasants, and that spirit of rebellion spread to the U.S. and Australia and elsewhere. But one of the things that was going on in the 1840s was massive emigration from Europe to North America. Sweden and Norway and Ireland and many other countries lost approximately half of their population, and they came to the United States during that century. And the 1840s was like one of the peak decades of the century in terms of emigration, and what the U.S. leadership did with the increased immigration was what they often do. That's called a labor surplus. When you have that much immigration, and what you do with the labor surplus is you start a war. That's the traditional thing. And so here in the U.S. and so as with pretty much every generation since the founding of this country, they started a war. They invaded our southern neighbor after a less than successful effort at invading our northern neighbor, which I could also talk about. But here's a little song about the invasion of Mexico and those who didn't go along with the program. There were thousands of soldiers who deserted as they got deeper into Mexico and realized what was happening. But there were 202 of them who took the desertion just a bit of a significant step further. My name is John Riley. I'll have your ear only a while. I left my dear home in Ireland. It was death, starvation, or exile. When I got to America, it was my duty to go. Enter the army and slog across Texas to join in the war against Mexico. And it was there in the pueblos and hillsides that I saw the mistake I had made. Part of a conquering army with the morals of a bayonet blade. And there amidst all these poor dying Catholics, screaming children, the burning stench of it all, myself and 200 Irishmen decided to rise to the call. From Dublin City to San Diego, we witnessed freedom denied, so we formed the St. Patrick Battalion, and we fought on the Mexican side. St. Patrick Battalion, and we fought on the Mexican side. That's the chorus. We marched with the green flag of St. Patrick, emblazoned with Erin-Go-Bragh, right with the harp and the shamrock, and the Libertad Republica. Just 50 years after Wolf Cone, 5,000 miles away, the gangs called us a legion of strangers, and they can talk as they may. But from Dublin City to San Diego, we witnessed freedom denied, so we formed the St. Patrick Battalion, and we fought on the Mexican side. We formed the St. Patrick Battalion, and we fought on the Mexican side. We fought them in Matamoros, where their volunteers were raping the nuns. In Monterrey and Cerro Gordo, we fought on as Ireland's sons. We were the red-headed fighters for freedom amidst these brown-skinned women and men. Side by side, we fought against tyranny, and I dare say we'd do it again. From Dublin City to San Diego, we witnessed freedom denied, so we formed the St. Patrick Battalion, and we fought on the Mexican side. We formed the St. Patrick Battalion, and we fought on the Mexican side. friends from Boston, we fell after each border blast. Most of us died on that hillside at the service of the Mexican state. So far from our occupied homeland, we were heroes and victims of fate. From Dublin City to San Diego, we witnessed freedom denied. So we formed the St. Patrick Battalion and we fought on the Mexican side. From Dublin City to San Diego, we witnessed freedom denied. So we formed the St. Patrick Battalion and we fought on the Mexican side. We formed the St. Patrick